It's time to get on the beat. I am truly honored to be in Studio Bell. We're here in the artist lounge. Feels nice, but I'm here with two members of Black Umfolosi. I have Sandi and Sindie. How are you two?
Good, thank you. How are you doing today?
Oh, wonderful. I mean, really, really happy to be talking to you. So, Black Umfolosi, especially international, but like, tell me about the band and some of the history.
Okay, should I go ahead?
Sure.
Okay, so Black Umfolosi was actually formed in 1982, and later on reformed to Black Umfolosi International in 2022. 22, yes. So it is an a cappella group that sings traditional music. So our mission is actually to connect cultures through music, dance, and through storytelling. So yeah, that's the summary about the group in general.
So then it's interesting. I was reading like about the history, like and the meaning of the word umfolosi. So like, how does that work into the band? I mean, like zigzag and then meandering river. How does that fit?
Well, Umfolosi is a river in South Africa, which also crosses Zimbabwe. So I think when they named the band, they just wanted something that pretty much states something about both countries. So Southern Africa, Zimbabwe, and South Africa. And that's, they named it Umfolosi just after the river.
Yeah, and it's actually, now that she mentioned that it connects two countries together, that's kind of where the music comes from, Southern Africa. So it's like different tribes and different cultures, but all connected by the same music. And just as the river flows through like different terraces and it just goes like zigzag, like you mentioned, music is also like that. We do face some difficulties along the way, but we just keep going.
That's interesting. So how long then do you have to like kind of practice to finally become a member?
That is the question. It's not that there's a certain qualification to become a member. However, since we reformed as Black Umfolosi International, we do a lot of practice as often as we can because, of course, you have to learn the songs, one, and then you have to keep going to continually remember what it is that you have to do. And, of course, as we go along, we make changes. We'll get ideas and, other people come up with suggestions. We rechange things. So it's constant practicing and rehearsing. There's never just a break. We're good now. We're perfect. It never gets there.
No.
Yeah. Now, I also noticed that you all have like different jobs and roles within the organization, and yours is costuming.
Correct. So I'm the person who's in charge of the costume. I decide what is worn and what we are going to wear. So in other words, I have to come up with things that accurately represent who we are and how we want to portray ourselves in public. And I also do fundraising, which is to help to get the funds for costumes, for different things that we need, transportation, and so forth. So, yes.
Yeah. I mean, so what kind of influences do you draw from then when you think of the costuming?
Well, mostly it's focused on us as a culture. So it's mostly the things that we would normally wear anyway in Zimbabwe and South Africa because it's more or less the same culture of people. So we try to bring that onto the stage so that we can show people who we are as our culture. And then I add sometimes just a little bit of whatever things that are you can commonly find, but that's not something that people would just wear on the street. Just something musical, because we are international. So we don't have to stick to the traditional only. We add some other things to flavor it up a little bit and make it look musical. Yeah.
That's awesome. So that how great is it to be able to show your culture to the world, but also like how do you find the reaction is to it?
Personally, I think it is great because I can speak for Sandi as well. I think for all of us, as a matter of fact, we all love our culture and we're very proud and we want people to get to learn through music, through our costumes, through the way we speak, everything. So it is great. And I think it's received in a very, very wow type of way because you don't normally see people dressing in beads and whatnot, and see them walking down the street. So when they do see it on stage, it's like, wow, this is what you people wear. And then the stories start there. And then, yes, we explain, we talk. And yeah, so it is great. It's very well received. And that makes us very happy.
And there's a lot of diversity that comes with African culture. So I think when we go to different places, some people might know more about West African culture, not necessarily Southern African culture. So, for example, Nigeria is so much different from South Africa or Zimbabwe. So bringing that difference makes people to be aware that, okay, Africa is not just one, small little place with the same culture and same everything. But more than anything, we also learn a lot from our audiences. So after every show, we usually tend to stick around and just have conversations with people who attend our shows. So during that time, we learn a lot about other different cultures because we have people from different countries coming to watch us. And yeah, I guess sometimes we also do share the stage with other artists from other countries. Like last year, we were at the Edmonton Folk Festival and we had to share the stage with many other artists. So that's how you get to go through this cultural exchange. And it just gives you an awareness and I'll say respect for other cultures and appreciation for other cultures. Yes.
Wow. Yeah. How often do you change up the set list?
It depends. For the most part, right now we do 2 sets. So for the first set we have one outfit, and then for the second we'll have a different outfit. But it all depends because it depends on what the venue calls for. If we have 3 sets or whatever, then we'll work according to that. But for this part, it's 2, and then of course we do a little bit of intro to the gumboot, and that's a different change.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the gumbo looks amazing. I mean, just watching the videos for it. I mean, honestly, just being able to slap everything and then keep that in time. I mean, that's incredible. So, how long do you work on that?
It actually doesn't take too much time.
Really?
Yeah, I always joke around that I have 2 left feet, but the gumboot dance is the only dance that I can do. So I actually learned how to do the gumboot dance in 2021. It took me, to be quite fair, I think it took me about a month to fully grasp it. So I think the secret when it comes to gumboot is practice. So the best thing to do is to watch what the pros do and video record them, and then just keep trying that by yourself. But then also the gumboot dance seems quite simple, but it has a lot of detail to it. So once you go back to the team after rehearsing by yourself, you are bound to start learning that no, when you slap this way, your face has to look this way. So it's not just about the slapping and stomping, but it's also about the facial expressions and how your head is tilted and how your hands look. So it's literally a whole body movement that should be in sync. So the moment one person doesn't look a certain way, it's already distorted because everyone should be in sync. So yeah, I'd say for me, it took me about a month, but it depends with people. I've got 2 left feet, maybe. For somebody, it'll take them a week. Who knows? Yeah. But
No, that is really interesting. And yeah, like I say, I mean, it's amazing because you would never think of a hard hat and then gumboots as a method of dancing.
Correct.
And it's actually derived from the mind. So it was initially a form of communication. So that's how the gumboot dance was formed. So initially, in the South African mines, the workers down there were not allowed to speak under when they were in the mines. So they devised a method of talking using stomping and slapping of their boots. So for example, to say it's springtime, or to say the boss is coming, or just those little signals. And because the mines are also usually isolated from the villages and family, they eventually devised the dance just from that communication. So every stomping and stepping actually symbols something. So it's not just literally a dance. It eventually evolved to entertainment, but initially it was a method of communication.
Yeah, I love that story. Now, is that the kind of thing that during the show you're going to explain to people as well?
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah, we do. So we actually do explain right before every song, and specifically right before the dance, because we also understand that sometimes the message might not be already out there. So this is where cultural awareness, for example, comes in. So now they understand that, okay, so this was a dance that was initially coming from communication in the mines of Southern Africa. So yeah, we do a lot of explaining in between all our pieces, I'd say.
Correct. And the other important reason for that as well is because we do sing, I would say maybe 85 to 90% of our songs in either Zulu and Ndebele, so languages that people who come to see us do not understand. So if we just start singing, it sounds nice, but maybe they also want to know, what are you talking about in the song? At least just don't have an idea. So we take that time to explain, well, the next song means this, or the song we have just done, so that they also feel a part of it as well as enjoying the rhythm. But you still want to know what the person is saying, even though it sounds nice. So we do a lot of that.
But I mean, isn't it interesting? Because I mean, I've talked to so many artists, and music truly is the universal language
Yes.
for everyone. I mean, to know that we can all hear the beats, and you can still understand the concepts even if you don't understand the actual words.
Right.
That's true. We're actually currently learning a French song. She's actually teaching us a French song. So it's really interesting. We don't only, even with us, we don't only listen to Southern African music. We listen to a bit of everything, country music. Well, I haven't heard anyone listening to rock in our tour, but we listen to a bit of everything, like Spanish music, everything, because like you say, music is just, it's beautiful. You know, you don't need to understand it for you to feel it.
Exactly.
It's just about how you feel when you're listening to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. So now, I mean, let's talk about the tour, and let's talk about your role. So, like, how do you like fit into everything, especially when it comes to like touring and that kind of thing? Like your role.
So I'm the secretary. So it's mainly like paperwork and like meetings and so forth. So, and I'm also in charge of the marketing side of things. So right now, whilst we're on tour, I'm the one who's taking all the recordings, editing videos, putting them out there, so that the audience is also able to follow where we're going and what we're doing. Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much what I'm doing right now. It's fun.
She has the easy job.
I honestly do. All I have to do sometimes is go on social media and say, okay, what's trending, and see how, guys, I know this is a bit different, but can we try this? And then, yeah, open up a TikTok account, Instagram, and just try to remain relevant and, you know, and leave a digital footstep. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much what I'm doing right now, currently on tour.
Yeah, and it's for us, it's excellent the way that everyone has their own role, because you know, I'm just saying she has the easy job, but it's really not, because I am not into anything media. I know absolutely nothing about that. So if you were to put me there, it wouldn't quite work for us. So everybody has an equally important role, and we all specialize in whatever it is that we do. So it works out really perfectly, just the way we have everything set up. But of course, we do help each other as well. If you see something, you'd be like, oh, Sandi, maybe we can change this. And she'll say, no, we can't because of this. Or she'll say, yes, absolutely. So we still give each other some pointers and so forth. But it comes together very nicely in everybody's respective roles. So I think we do a great job.
Yeah, definitely.
How often do you get a chance to tour? And then how often do you want to tour?
Well, this was the first long tour that we have, because this is for about a month. So it's a full month. And previously we had the Edmonton Folk Festival that was about a week, so just a little over a week, 4 days or so. How often do we want to tour? Tell you the truth, all our lives. We want to do this, like we can be on the road as often as we can.
Yeah.
You know, that would be the ideal. Or even if we're not touring, just permanently touring, but just doing music full time, that will be ideal. Because that's where our passion is at, and that's what we love the most. So we're slowly working towards that, and hopefully it will materialize soon.
Yeah.
And so far we also have, I think, dates for February, almost a month of Feb, and next year, and July. So yeah, I guess it's slowly coming together. But as Black Umfolosi International, this is actually our first tour, like a block of just shows after show. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's great. I mean, I'm sure it must take some time to get used to as well after, if you're not touring on a regular basis to kind of get yourself set into a month. I mean,
Yes.
I actually toured in 2022 with Black Umfolosi, so the former group, and we had a tour. The first place we went to was the UK, then we went to the USA, and then we toured Canada. So it was a total of about almost 4 months. Yeah, that was in 2022. But once we started the tour, right now, I was so excited and everything was going so well. And then later on, I was like, how did I do it before? Because it does eventually start to feel like, okay, I need to recharge my energy all the time. So, I mean, positivity is good along the way.
Yes.
And having good team members is like one of the most important part of a tour, because actually a lot of groups do break up after a tour. So it's really important how you nurture relationships amongst each other, and how you also give each other roles, like distribute roles and responsibilities, so that not one person is overwhelmed with everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
yeah, no, that's great, because I mean, absolutely, you have to really like each other.
Exactly. Yep, you really have to. Yeah.
So then, is there a charitable component to Black Umfolosi International?
So there is. We actually did a charity concert. Is it a month ago or so? With what's it called? It's in Ontario, Fort Erie.
Oh yes, Fort Erie. Yes, the
Forgot the name.
Matthew House.
Matthew House. So
Yes.
it's an immigration center that assists immigrants coming into Canada and helping them with housing, jobs, and so forth. So we had a charity. That was our first charity
That
concert
charity
there.
event.
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
But we are looking forward to having more charity events, as well as more workshops with schools and young children and so forth.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. I can absolutely see going into schools would be such a great way again to help promote the culture.
Yeah.
Exactly, because also when we talk about inclusion and diversity, the cultural part is a big part of it. So also understanding that Canada is a country that has a lot of immigrants from different backgrounds, we feel like it is really important to bring awareness to different cultures and also to learn from different cultures. So hopefully once we go full time, we are able to do some of these projects, because we do have projects in the pipeline. But of course, everything needs funding for it to take place, to roll out. But yeah, I think so far we are doing well. It's just a matter of time before we are able to start venturing to other parts of the projects that we.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So then, when it comes to your audience, like, do you find that it is a multicultural mixing pot in that case?
I would think yes. I mean, not multi the way that you would see people on the street. However, there is a bit of everyone. When you do get to talk to them, you'll find out this person is from here, that person is from there. But we'd like to see even a bit more diversity, because sometimes you can spot like a certain nation or a certain group of people, and then there's somewhere you can see more of others. However, it's still it's pretty amazing. I mean, also imbube or a cappella, the type of a cappella that we do is music that is not really for everyone. Even in Africa, you'll find the younger crowd, they tend to go more for what is that? Afrobeat,
Yeah.
So just the fact that it's now building up and we can see a bit of a diversity is already a great progress for us. And I find that our audience tends to be a bit older because perhaps we use no instruments, and so they want to focus on the voices. And now, but we're getting more and more younger people that are interested, and it's really exciting to see that, because truly, we want the young people also to come in so that they can carry on the tradition, especially the Southern African, so that we're not ending it at this point, but it's something that goes on and on for generations, because it is music that is very, very culturally based. So it would be great.
And also adding on to what Cindy is saying, with different venues, like different locations, we see different groups of people. So, for example, for the first time around Nova Scotia, I think, we did see a couple of Indian people, and we've never seen Indian people in our performances. So that was very eye-opening. And then in certain parts of Nova Scotia, we also saw quite a lot of Southern African people. But then when you go to places like Quebec, there were no Africans. So it just depends with where you are, really. But yeah, definitely our type of music is more soft, because we only have a drum, I think, in one song. Otherwise, the rest of the songs, we use our voices as the instrument. And when it comes to the younger generation, most of them tend to gravitate more towards like the rhythm and the beats and so forth, which is not necessarily our type of genre. So yeah, but we do love our audience to the max. Yeah, we love them.
Well, and I mean, like from listening to your music, I love it. Like I'm a big fan of the acapella, and so I mean, it's great to absolutely see you promoting your culture like this. So I do want to give you the chance to promote not just your culture but everything else. So tell the fans, what you got coming up.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Well, so this is our last show here in Alberta, here in Calgary, and right after this, we have a whole lineup going to British Columbia. We have a couple of stops, and you can see all of that in our website. And then right after that, we also have shows, of course, February, which is the Black History Month. So it is important for us to also be out there and promote the whole history of Black people and what that brings to different nations. And yeah, after that, we've got July lined up for now. But yeah, we have everything on our website. Everything is on our website, whether it's our bios, where we are going, but also our social media platforms really do have as much as we can when it comes to the tour and also understanding our type of music. And I think the most important part about our social media platforms is that you get to see what happens behind the scenes. So that's the days of traveling, whether it's by air or driving for 6 hours, for example, you get to see people tired and people rehearsing and people hyper and me and Cindy randomly dancing in the streets. So yeah, you get to see a bit of everything. And yeah, I think that's all that I can say.
Well, and of course, the social media is yours, so I mean, why wouldn't you?
I have to.
The easy job.
I have to. But also, for me, I feel like I was blessed to be given that role, the social media space, because I just turned 30. So I feel like I do kind of understand what is currently happening in the social media space. But more than anything, our aim is to also diversify our audience, not just have one age group. So this is where social media comes to play, because sometimes people do not listen to a certain type of music because maybe it's not really out there, So once you put it out there, we have been getting a lot of people interested in the music and young people DMing me and asking, where are you going next? Where can we find you? And I'm like, it's working, So yeah.
Well, that's great. I mean, your passion is obvious and it's infectious. Really love talking to both of you. So, Black Umfolosi International. Look forward to hearing more from you. Wish you nothing but the best in the future. Sandi, Sindie, I'm Brent Monroe, and thanks for being on the beat.